They won a game. What's going on, guys? Frankie here, Frankie's Film, coming at you with another week of our Frankie's Film Gold Star Film Breakdowns. This week, we're going to be talking about the Broncos' epic, embarrassing, frustrating comeback against the Chicago Bears. The first half, Justin Fields is out there looking like Dan Marino. This defense kind of continued to be a bit of an embarrassment. Picked it up a little bit, though, in the second half. Zach Allen is going to be our star player on the defensive side of the ball this week. He ended up actually being kind of a force towards the end of the game, and honestly, the entire defensive line, like each individual player, I'd say, had their moment, so some encouraging things there. And then on the offensive side of the ball, Jaleel McLaughlin. Looks like the best running back that Denver's fielded all season, you know? He's running a lot of those outside zone tosses and just general runs, and his vision and his burst it's legit, you know? He's creating a lot of big plays for this Denver backfield, so we're going to take a look at him, a look at Zach Allen, and, you know, we'll look at our good takeaways from a first win in the era of Sean Payton. So let's do it. First play we're going to be looking at for Jaleel McLaughlin. It's the first drive for Denver. They're tied 0-0 and it's 2nd and 7. We're going to see them run this outside zone toss that you might be familiar with from watching if you've watched any of the 49ers offense or any Shanahan scheme. Basically, we're just going to have zone blocking to the right side, and Jaleel McLaughlin's going to have his option of cutback lanes. But one thing I want to highlight is the great job he does tempoing out his run, you know? Like, he's obviously a very fast player, but he does a great job letting his blocks get set up before hitting the gas. You know, you see here, he doesn't just hit the hole right away. He lets Mike McGlinchey reach his second-level defender, hit that landmark before accelerating through the lane and picking up a gain of 6. Later on that drive, we've got Denver in the red zone facing a 3rd and 7 with some 11 personnel, and Payton's just going to dial up a little screen. We've got Jaleel doing a nice job escaping into the flat, and Quinn Miners does a really nice job here finding the second-level defender and laying down a really nice block, showing some really good effort. And once again, Jaleel just does a nice job tempoing it out, you know, letting his blocks get set up. And then, I mean, the move he puts on here, come on, guys. This guy is, what, $180, $190, and he's making defenders miss in the open field like this. Denver might have a pretty good player on their hand right now. Few drives later, Broncos trailing 14-7, 1st and 10, and Payton's going to dial up a little bit of a counter here. They're coming out in 21 personnel, which basically they've got 2 running backs, but in this case a fullback with Michael Burton. And what Payton actually does is he kind of lines it up at first like they're in 12, so you see Michael Burton kind of come out as the fullback and they play kind of an even set. But then you see him kind of motion to the backfield, and this gets the Bears defense to kind of adjust into the look that Payton wants for this counter. You see the defensive end number 94 and the linebackers all kind of shift over, and this allows Adam Troutman and Michael Burton just to kind of seal this edge and really get this counter to work. Get Jaleel McLaughlin obviously using his big time speed, and there you go, big game. Into the 3rd quarter now, Broncos trailing 21-7, and it was at this point that the dark voices started talking to me in the back of my brain. Broncos are facing a 2nd and 10, and they're going to run a little bit of a draw here. I just wanted to highlight the right side of the offensive line does a really nice job selling pass here. McGlinchey does a really nice job in his set. Adam Troutman does a nice job getting up to the 2nd level, and once again, you just get Jaleel McLaughlin utilizing that speed in the open field. Alright, next drive, the Broncos are down 28-7, as yes, it did get worse, and my brain got even sadder. Here we've got Jaleel McLaughlin and the Broncos just running a pristine outside zone rep. You got Garrett Bowles getting a 2-piece, getting up on the 2nd level with 45-degree blocks. You got Mike McGlinchey climbing to the 2nd level getting good blocks. Adam Troutman's getting out there on a safety. Jaleel McLaughlin's running through multiple tacklers and then embarrassing a safety. Chris Berman would be proud. We'd see a nice little whoop right there. And I mean, yeah, man, this Broncos running game looking a little impressive here. Into the red zone now, Broncos facing a 1st and 15, and they're going to come out in 11 personnel, but it's kind of a bit of a funkier look. It's made to look like 0-1 personnel. We've got Jaleel McLaughlin split out, basically, and the Bears are showing zone all day. Payton's got, like, an all-verticals concept dialed up with an underneath route for McLaughlin, so you're going to see the wheel from Adam Troutman kind of pull the zone defender out of the spot, and then you just got Jaleel McLaughlin easily running underneath. One thing I wanted to highlight, he does such a good job transitioning from the catch into a runner, you know? He's really good at he doesn't lose any pace on that, so really impressive there. Final play for McLaughlin in the offense today. Got a 1st and 10. Broncos now down 28-14 as the comeback is alive and well. And we just got another outside zone toss play. And everyone does such a good job on this rep. You know, I want to highlight Lloyd. Lloyd's been such a standout this season, really improved. And he does a great job here of getting a good seal on the center or on the defensive tackle. And then, I mean, Mike McGlinchey able to get a good climb up to Terrell Edmonds, which I'll be honest, he has pretty poor gap integrity there. But yeah, just a really good rep from the Broncos run game that's been getting better and better every single week. So once again, the offense, good. The defense, bad. So what did we see from that game? The first half, obviously, absolutely horrible. Set the film on fire, gross. But the second half of that game, I think we actually, like, at least in my mind, I think we saw kind of some promise of what this defense can be the rest of the year. Now, am I saying this can be a good defense or even a middle-of-the-pack defense? No. This defense for the rest of the year is probably going to give up a lot of points, a lot of yards, be towards the bottom of the league. But what I do think that they can do, and what we saw in the second half of this game, is they can be a timely, opportunistic defense with a lot of the playmakers they have and a lot of the aggression that Vance Joseph is showing. They can create pressures and sacks. They can generate an interception or a forced fumble. And I think with the way the offense is humming right now, if the defense can kind of just do that once or twice or a few times a game, this could be a frisky team a little bit. So I want to kind of dive in, show you the stuff that Zach Allen and the defensive line were doing, because, again, the second half of this game, I think we did kind of start to see just a little bit of something. I mean, that's again, really, I think all this offense needs is just a little bit of help. First play here for Zach Allen in the defense. We've got Denver coming out in some 3-4, and the Bears are facing a 2nd and 7 in the red zone. And they're going to do a nice job here. They motion this running back out into a receiver position, which forces Denver to kind of motion their corner out to the sideline. They're playing some cover 3 match here, so I believe that Alex Singleton should be running with the tight end when he clears vertical through his zone. He doesn't, though, so we end up getting a wide open touchdown here from Chicago. But just pay attention to Zach Allen here. He does a really nice job using his leverage and explosiveness to kind of get around this guard and almost get a hand on Justin Fields here for his first pressure of the game. Two-minute drill here for Chicago facing a 1st and 10. We've got Denver running some base 4-2-5, so running a bit of a lighter box, and Chicago's running some duo. And here we just see Zach Allen doing a nice job disengaging the block of first-round rookie Darnell Wright. Makes a nice tackle here for a gain of 1 and keeping him short of the sticks. But Nate Davis here just needs to do a bit better job on duo before climbing up to the linebacker. Doesn't really give Zach Allen much of a difficult job here in making the tackle. But either way, short game for Chicago. Good stop, Denver. Still on that 2-minute drill, Chicago facing a 2nd and 16, and here we just see Zach Allen. If you want to get paid like a top defensive lineman, you got to be able to fight your way through double teams. He does a great job of that here. Should have been able to draw the hold. I don't know what the ref is exactly looking at. There's a few plays like that this game, but, you know, either way, great rep from him. Good job from Denver to be able to hold Chicago, and they are able to keep Chicago scoreless at the end of the half. Next play, Chicago facing a 1st and 10, already leading 21-7, and Denver's running more of their match cover 3, but honestly, coverage doesn't really matter here when you've got a player like Nick Bonito winning and Zach Allen winning in their one-on-ones as quickly as they do. Chicago tried to run this pull pass block concept that you see teams do a lot of times, but against a guy as quick as Nick Bonito, you just can't do that, and then Zach Allen does a nice job getting past Darnell Wright to help clean up the sack on Justin Fields. Way later in the game, we've got the Bears facing a game-deciding 4th and 1 here. The score was 28-28 at this point. Denver had made their massive comeback, and this is just an impeccable team defense play. Everyone does their job here. Zach Allen blows the guard up, knocks him 2 yards off the ball. DJ Jones does what he does best and just eats a double team like nobody's business. And then Alex Singleton comes flying in, makes the tackle and the stop. Turnover on downs, Denver football. Once Denver took the lead on a field goal and the Bears had to take their opportunity to try to drive down the field and score to either tie the game or win it, Zach Allen just kind of took over. The Broncos here playing some cover 1 robber, and I mean Zach Allen in a 4-man front just beats his man straight up in the one-on-one and gets a hit on Justin Fields for the first play. Couple plays later, Bears facing a 2nd and 21 with the Broncos playing some more nickel 4-2-5, and same type of result here, except the Broncos are playing more of a soft zone. Zach Allen just beating his man one-on-one, getting to Justin Fields, forcing him to throw hot really quickly, and it's a short game for Chicago. very next play in a game-deciding 3rd and 13 for Chicago, Broncos come out in some dime personnel, and they're going to send a bit of a nickel blitz here. And Justin Fields does a good job identifying it right away, tries to throw with anticipation to his tight end over the middle, miscommunication on the route, ends up getting picked off by Kareem Jackson for the win. But I mean, once again, man, watch Zach Allen. Zach Allen almost getting another hand on the quarterback. If this is the type of consistent play we can get out of him, this might be an upgrade over Draymond Jones. And I'm probably the #1 Draymond Jones supporter, so huge praise from me. Great game from Zach Allen against Chicago. Hope to see him keep it up this week against the Jets. There it is. Maybe not the way we all expected. It might not have felt as good as we all wanted. But the first win of Sean Payton's tenure is here, you know? So let's all celebrate. Jaleel McLaughlin and Zach Allen, you guys played great. Keep it up. Let's keep it rolling into this Jets week, you know. After this, they could end up being 2-3, and then it's a whole new season, guys. So thank you guys for tuning in. Until next week, I've been Frankie with Frankie's Film. Make sure you're watching everything over here on the Let's Talk Broncos Network. Thank you guys for tuning in. Have a great week.